Good afternoon and welcome to the Mosaic Minute. My name is Jeff Bounds. I'm the Vice President of Client Engagement and Marketing here at the Mosaic Consulting Group. And today I am super happy to have John Carruthers on here to talk about something that's very near and dear to my heart, something that is essential for success. And I want to start this off by layering out, there's two different choices that you have to create success in your organization. You can do it the hard way and have unpredictability in your roadmap, or you can have a proven framework that you leverage that it's going to be replicatable and every single person on your team is going to be in alignment and it's going to get you a lot closer to your outcome. So that's going to be our topic today, how to leverage a proven framework to drive success with your UKG software. And like I was mentioning, super happy to have John on here. John has been in the space for substantial amount of time, and I've been able to personally see how he's been able to apply this with some of our clients. And I got to tell you, it's really been able to provide transformation into the marketplace. So John, welcome to the Mosaic Minute.
Thanks, Jeff. Thanks for having me here.
Absolutely. So tell me a little bit, when you and I were kind of talking through this and you came up with this topic of leveraging like a proven framework, why is that so near and dear to your heart?
You know, for me, it's very near and dear to my heart because you kind of said the two things, right? You can either succeed or not succeed, right? You know, and I've been through with different projects and different organizations and different things to where it just didn't succeed, and I never wanted to go through that again because it was painful. It was painful financially on the organization. It was painful on the workforce and everyone involved. And so when we look at this, what is success in this framework? What are some things that you can continually do that drive success of the organization? It's very near and dear to my heart because I've been through the bad and I've been through some great, and I want more of the great. And anything we can do to isolate those bad or turn those bads into situations where we can easily identify, hey, this isn't going well. How do we stop and regroup and restart? I think it's a key thing in today's. It is a key thing in today's marketplace, but even with the employee retention and things like that, it's even more vital in today than ever before.
Yeah, 100%. And one of the things I love about doing this Mosaic Minute and the individuals that I bring on this show who are my cohorts here at Mosaic is, and these are people that have actually done what we're speaking about. It's not theory. It's what we have experienced with working with over 1,000 clients over the past 12 years. So let's just get right into it. And for those of you that are joining us for the first time, please follow us. Hit the follow button here on LinkedIn. We'd love to have you following us. We do these every single week. And we also have a lot of webinars which provide a lot of content. If you look inside of our feed, you can see we just recently did one around BI with one of our experts that was tremendous. So let's get right into it here. So basically, proven framework for success, big claim, right?
Right.
What is that? What does it look like? And how can somebody that's watching this today actually get that started inside of their organization?
You know, the key thing you said there is start, right? When we look at a framework, when we look at something that's proven, that's a big claim, right? It's a very big claim. You can Google and find hundreds to thousands of different things that you could do for framework. But the biggest thing that I've continued to encounter, and I myself have had to grow through, is exactly kind of that last word, success. Before you can really get to a framework, you have to really understand what success is. I love how dictionary.com defines success. It says the accomplishment of an aim or purpose. The accomplishment of an aim or purpose. The good or bad outcome of an undertaking. Before we can really look at a framework, we have to understand and define what are we trying to do? What is success within this project, within this scope, within this issue that we're working on, and we need to build this out. What are we trying to build out to? What does success actually look like? What's our big desired outcome? And so many times, it's very easy. People jump in to start solving and solutioning without taking time to step back and say, okay, where are we trying to get to? Right? If you're going to have a roadmap, you have to stop, that success, you have to stop and define what is success. What is success? You can't build a strategy without first understanding what you're trying to build towards. And that's one of the things that's just so oftentimes missed, is the stop and to understand what is success.
Yeah, I love that, man. And I think the way that I always try to look at it, I think from everything that I've done in my life, is like typically the first stage, and there's stages and everything. Is the first stage is awareness.
Yeah.
To realize we got to figure something out, because what we're doing right now is not effective. So we need to look at and be really transparent and real on where that is, and not go into denial. Because I see a lot of organizations that will go into that, they'll push it back, under the rug, and then obviously what happens is they have a big fallout. So you got to understand there's that level of awareness there. So once you know that, and then once you realize, okay, we do have to start looking at things differently. How does an organization define what that outcome or success looks like, and then what are the next steps?
The next steps for me, once you've defined what success is going to look like, right? Once you've defined what it looks like, and that's challenging. You have to really take it, as you said, take an awareness. You have to take a step back. And I would actually challenge this in awareness, not just when things aren't feeling good, but even when things are going great. To have that awareness, to take time out in your busy business schedule and say, what's working good, what's not working, are what we're doing, does it still meet where we need to go, right? So even though something could be going great, you still got to make a stop and say, hey, it's going good, but are we really hitting that success? Is it really being as successful as it could or should be? But one of the things that I found when we look at that, we define what success is. Now we can start to back into it. I call it reverse engineering to the success, right? We can start to build out a roadmap. When I was a kid and we would travel, Jeff, this is back before smartphones. This is back before mobile data, before tablets. I mean, heck, my parents had a full-size van with a little 13-inch tube TV with a VCR, right? That was our entertainment. One of the biggest highlights for me on those trips was having a map, right? Knowing where we were trying to go, and then either guessing the route or actually telling my dad, hey, Dad, this is the route we should take to get to where we want to go. Mm-hmm. Now, my parents' definition of success, right? My definition was getting there in an enjoyable time frame, right? I enjoyed the ride, right? The journey. But if you look at what definition of success was for my parents in that roadmap, it was for my dad, hey, getting off work, step one, right? Or saving the funds to provide for the trip. My mom was, is everything packed? Do we have everything we need? Now I correlate that into my adult stage in life, right? And I'm like, hey, that roadmap and that definition for success when I was a kid, when it comes to a vacation, is dramatically different. Now success is a lot of the same elements, but it's just so much more. The definition for me is not just the journey; it's the everything, the day to day, everything that has to go into it. That all layers into success, and that's what that roadmap is. So many times in an organization, we don't actually stop. When we look at a roadmap and we start and we understand with what success is, we develop this roadmap, and we tend to either go really, really small with a roadmap, or we go way, way too big, right? And so what we have to understand is when we develop that roadmap and it gets you towards that success, we have to understand the different aspects of that roadmap. And really going to kind of go into that next question, right, is as we develop it, what's that structure going to look like, right? What's that structure going to look like? That's a very key, vital thing, is once we understand that we need to look at things differently, we create create our definition of success. We now create a roadmap, right, to get to that success. Within there, what's the structure, right? How do we build out this roadmap? One of the things is I think a lot of times we have these grand, grandiose thoughts of success, but we don't put any timelines to them, Jeff, right? We don't say, hey, this is what success is, and we need to be there in 9 months. Mm-hmm. We need to be there in 15 months. We're good at saying what we want from a success, but a lot of times we don't stop and actually say, this is how long we're going to allocate to get there. So what happens, right? That emotional, everyone's bought in, let's go, it dies, mm-hmm. right? And then something else happens, something else takes its place. We always have to reinvent to reinvigorate, right? We have to reinvent to reinvigorate this roadmap and what success is, because we didn't stop to actually understand what the true timeline is.
You know, I just want to interrupt for one second.
Yeah.
I love what you're saying there, because it's what's called the knowing and the doing gap.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody knows there's a problem. Everybody knows what they need to fix, but it's like they can't figure out how to do it. And I see that every single day. And at the end of the day, if you don't put intention into it and you don't put a date, and I had a guy tell me one time, I remember I was with an organization and we were trying, it was expansion. It was a situation where he was like trying to build out a certain area of his business, and he wanted to develop like this seminar inside of this organization. Never done it before, right? And I remember he said, well, when are you going to do this? When are you planning on doing it? I'm like, well, I'm thinking about it. He's like, no, you're not. This is the date you're going to do it. And it was literally like 2 weeks from that particular moment. And I was like, oh my God, that's compressed. I had to put intention into figuring it out in a very short period of time, because what happens is, like, if he had come over to me and asked me, hey, when are you going to do this? Well, I got to put some thought into it. Days become weeks, weeks become months, months become years. And 9 times out of 10, it never gets done. So I think what you said is so valuable there. So for all you that are listening to this, put a time on it, commit to it. And then, like John is saying, reverse engineer from that date of what are those milestones along the way for you to be able to get there. And that's definitely going to give you a jump start.
Yeah, you mentioned milestones. That's the other thing. That's one of the key things you have to understand the structure. You have to create milestones. Now, I think of milestones and benchmarks as two different things, and some people may argue with me. But when I look at milestones, right, it's we have to have this. These are the milestones. These are the steps on the roadmap to get to success. Benchmarks are, we have to have these milestones done by this time, or else we're not going to hit success, right? And so many times we can create those milestones, but we never, again, going back to your time, Jeff, right? We never actually put a deadline to it. This summer, right? My wife and I sat down and she said, hey, I want to do some remodeling in the house. And it was like, she laid out all the milestones. Here's the kitchen milestone. Here's the basement milestone. Here's the backyard milestone. It was all the timeline, Jeff, is my son graduates next year. We want to have a big party. And she's like, I want my house to look very presentable. But we know that if we keep talking about it, we're not going to get it done, right? So she created milestones. And within that, hey, for this to happen, backyard, we know where our benchmark to get this done is this date, right? And we have that benchmark. We say, if we're going to hit this goal, this milestone has to be done within this time frame, and create that benchmark. And I think, through that, we're able to adjust, right? We're able to address. That kind of goes to that creating tasks that requires ownership. That's a big part of road mapping and milestones. Within those milestones, you have to create tasks that have ownership. You can't just say, I want to do X. If you can't fully execute everything on X, and even if you can, you still need to say, within that milestone, that's X, what are everything that has to go into it for me to hit that milestone? Mm-hmm. Right? And so many times as leaders, we talk in big, high-level thinking, which is great. That's what we need to do. But then we have to start bringing in other people within that roadmap and that framework that says, hey, here's what I'm trying to do. This is the milestone I need you to take ownership of. And I need create your own tasks, right? Create your own task. But then you require them to own them, right? That shared ownership.
Yeah. What's funny about that too, and that just triggered me on something, is like when you're doing this inside of your organization, you're hiring people for a reason.
Yeah.
You have to give autonomy to the different players inside of your team to let them take the ball and run with it. And one of the things I see so many times that it just drives me insane is other people in other areas of the business that need to focus on getting their side of the business correct. And they're in your space trying to tell you how to run your side, or you have the one person in the room that thinks they know how to make everything run. Collaboration is everything. And it's like, you have to remember, like, you have your skill sets, you know where your strengths are, and then hopefully you're aligning yourself in your organization with other experts in other spaces. And where the magic happens is when everybody can come together and put together this beautiful outcome of where they want to be. And then the other thing I would say too is that in life, I always have lived by the mantra of, you have to jump and grow wings on the way down. It's like so many things that stop you in anything in life, whether this is being successful with your UKG software, and really what we're talking about today can be in any aspect, not just in your business, but in your life in general. It's like, make a decision. Make a decision to move forward, take that first step, and then along the way, everything's going to come together. But just don't continue to push it back. And that's what we have been very successful with here at Mosaic Consulting Group. Is a lot of the companies, very intentional companies that do partner with us, they realize it's a lifelong partnership, because UKG software is definitely, it's the best software in the space by far. But with that being said, it comes with complexities. It comes with, areas where you need to stay ahead of the curve. We consider ourselves to be an innovative company here at Mosaic, and without a doubt, UKG is definitely an innovative software company, and you have to stay in front of that. So if you bring in a trusted advisor, someone like, maybe one of our consultants here at Mosaic, we can help you with change management, which is really probably directly related to what we're talking to right now. And then we can also help you with strategic, because there's different aspects of maybe change is a challenge. Where do I start? And then when you start the change, you have to understand, what does the vision look like? Maybe you don't have a lot of people in your organization that really know what it looks like, or maybe you do and you're stuck. And then when you bring in maybe one of our experts, we can help you get the clarity there to start moving in the right direction. So I guess, John, like, this has been some good information here. And obviously we only have a limited amount of time that we can, talk to you guys today. But I think in closing, I'll have you close it out. When you've seen, like, in your engagement with clients and then facing these issues, how do we jump in with Mosaic Consulting Group? How are we able to help people think through that? Just give me some examples of what you've seen around that.
Yeah, the examples is kind of a cliche statement here, but it really rings true. We can really make your dream a reality and make the complex simple, right? With our team and our years of experience and working with several other clients, we have to understand, hey, what's your dream state? Where are you trying to get towards, right? And that's where we partner with you in a very different manner than just, hey, tell me your problem, let me go fix it, right? With clients, I had a client just recently. They're like, hey, we need to get our dimensions over the hump. We have to get this live, and we're like, we're stuck. We can't figure some things out. How can you partner with us? How can you help us? And we created a very, very quick roadmap, right? Hey, this is where you're trying to get to. This is the dates. This is what needs to get done to get you over the hump. And Jeff, we're doing the change management. Hey, let us properly train your employees so they can do that. Let me help your admin staff. Let's properly train so that this can be a success and not viewed as, oh man, this is just horrible. This just doesn't work, right? We took our expertise to say, hey, here's the 4 to 5 things you got to nail down to drive your success. The other stuff we'll help you with as you encounter it. We're here continually supporting you. But to get you over that hump, here's the main things you need to focus in on to make this successful. And our team does a great job of understanding that within the individual clients. They can understand what's needed. They can understand, as you talk about your long-range goals, your long-range vision. Then we partner with you to make it happen and help you understanding the steps and saying, hey, that's a block. Okay, there's going to be some pain here that you're not seeing or understanding or even thinking about. Let me kind of share with you some context. Like another client or another group I worked with that experienced this, and let me tell you how we may want to change your approach to make sure you don't go through that same pain. That's where the value of our consultants and our approach comes in. We're not just here to fix. We can definitely fix, but we want to understand, where are you trying to go? Let's align to that. It's aligned to where you're trying to get to. It's aligned to what success looks like, and let's partner together to make it happen.
Yeah, 100%. And look, again, we welcome you to contact us at any time. It doesn't cost you a dime. Shoot us an email. You can either send it to me, or you can send it to John. You can email it to just Mosaic directly, and we'll be more than happy to lean in and have a conversation with you. And one of the things that really differentiates us versus a lot of the other players out there in the HR consulting space is we want to work with you. We want to partner with you. But at the end of the day, we also have to know about you, unique as your organization is. So that's a lot of times we'll do a system review. We'll do some other areas where we can really understand the current state, because you can't grow what you can't measure. And if we don't know where you currently are, it would be disingenuous for us to come in and make all these recommendations where we might be missing the bar. And we also do that so well here, to be able to really dig in, roll up our sleeves, find out currently what's going on, get in alignment, both from that executive level and then that frontline level, and bridge the gap there, and to create successful outcomes. And again, we've been doing that for 12 years at a pretty high level. So John, really appreciate you being on today. Hope you guys found this to be valuable content. I know I sure did. And we can't wait to see you next Tuesday at 12 noon on the Mosaic Minute. Hope you guys have a great day. Take care.